Okay, welcome. My name is Arlo and this is Elemental Idea. And today we're gonna be talking about the Acolyte, episode 3. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. You guys know I don't like this show, but there is one guy that texted me, sent me a DM and told me I have so much fun. Let's read it. Here we go. I have so much fun hating this show with you that I cannot wait for episode 3. For you, I'm doing this. I keep watching this show. I watched episode 3 against my better judgment. I knew it was gonna be awful. Everybody was talking about it was gonna be awful, and I watched it, and what is implied is not as great, but I have mixed feelings about it. All right, the plot is paper thin and not too good. All right, so brace yourself. In this episode, we meet with May and Osha, and in the younger versions when they're kids. And by the way, these two kids look alike, but you can tell who is who. I don't know why just use one like with the older version, but okay, nitpick. By the way, I'm gonna have spoilers and complaints and nitpicks at the end of this, so stay if you wanna know that kind of stuff. It's not, you are warned. I will warn you again at the end. All right. So yeah, we meet the younger versions of our protagonists, and they're in a forest, and they already know how to use the force to stop movement on some kind of insect in this new planet. One stuff that I like, and I'm gonna say this, they telling us about different planets in every single episode. That's kind of neat. Yeah, and the good twin uses the force to stop the little insect, and then the bad twin, May, uses the force to try to crush it. This is way to, or they have this little argument, and they have this with the you saw in the trailers about, oh, we're twins, we're together, blah blah blah, sisters, we love, always together. That happened in this episode, and they get caught because they're in the outside for the temple of these wishes, and they get reprimanded and sent back. And then we meet with their mother, and she is actually very lenient with this, and this is the only kids in the tribe. And there is the other mother that is the one who carried the twins, and it's implied and that these two girls are the parents from the girls, the two ladies, right? That I don't bother to learn their names. This one and this one. Good. Let's move on. They're having some kind of ceremony to ascend. That's what they call it. And one kid want to do it, and Osha, the other kid, doesn't want to do it. Doesn't want to become a wish. And they have some setup about the stuff and the life in this campment, and they have the famous line when they're talking about that the force is not an energy, it is a threat, and everybody have a threat, and sometimes when the threats are missed, basic stuff that you have seen in any other show, right? The threat, the idea, and they're when the force is used by one is powerful, but when it's used by two is more powerful. There are a bunch of them, there's even more powerful. So basically it's 1, 2, 3. Make of that as you will. All right. And after that, they keep talking, and Osha talked to her mother, and actually says that, hey, I don't want to be a witch. I don't want to take this commitment. And the mom says, like, yeah, but this is what we are, and this is what maybe you want to do in the future or right now. And meanwhile, they talk about their Jedis surrounding the temple and this stuff. We get to the day of the ascension, and 4 Jedis, the ones that we already know, that May is hunting, Soul, Trinity Jedi, Wookiee Jedi, and all young guy Jedi. That's their names now. I'm gonna put their faces over here, and over here, and over here. All right, these four. they're they get to the temple that says, "Oh yeah, we know you have kids here, and you're training in the Force." And the Jedi do say, "We don't steal kids. We ask for it, but we have the right to test them." And they get to an agreement, and they said that yeah, that we will test it in the morning. So they just talked to the girls and said, yeah, you just have to fail this test, and everything's gonna away. They go with that, and they have this line, the one the it's not what you want, it's about power, who are allowed to use it and who is not allowed to use it, and that's basically it. And they go to the Jedi's ship to make the test. So May go first, and she fails, and she's all happy. And then Osha goes, and she tried to fail, but when she's doing it, the Jedi realize that she's doing it because she didn't want to do it, and she passes. And then she go back to the temple, talk to her mom, and the May sister is mad and is saying that she's gonna kill everybody. She's gonna burn her sister, and the sister is just, I'm gonna go. I wanna be a Jedi. This is what I wanna do. And the mom says, well, if this is what I wanna do, that's okay. And we have this weird scene because May actually captures her sister and then try to set it on fire, right? And you hear a bunch of explosions in the back, and then you go to and see that everything is exploding, everything is in flames, and we're left to assume that May is destroying everything. Right? The four Jedi's got to the temple, save the kids, Soul take Ocean's, and he is right. He actually saw the sister fall down the well, so he's correct in assuming that she is dead. And wait, yeah, and there go, and yeah, that's the episode. All right, so now that's the plot of the episode. That's what is happening, and let's talk about spoilers. All right, this is just spoiler warning. The other side also have a little minor spoilers because I told you the setup, but all right, you're watching this video, I guess. So spoilers, 1, 2, 3. In the spoiler section, we're gonna talk about the stuff that I hate, that I don't like, and that is useless. And there is a lot. Alright, first of all, a lot of people are criticizing the actor from the Squid Game. To me, it's not bad, it's not good either, but it's not the best, but it's not bad. And just considering that this guy learned English like 4 months before, and so yeah. The mother is fine. She's a fine actress. You can see it there. The kids are kid actors and actresses, and they're iffy. They cannot sell it too well, but you make allowances for this kind of stuff. Cinematography wise, it looks nice, and effects looks nice. Once again, you believe everything is happening, and this is when you have the plot and the character development, and that's why this is so important. Right? Let's talk about the Force. Are you ready? You guys know that I talk a lot about that Disney does not understand the Force video here. They don't. They just don't. And they think it's magic, right? And they're doing now this, that is a religion. The Jedi is a religion, and they're trying to make it like, yeah, but many religions can interpret the Force in different ways and stuff. This is not how Star Wars Force is. First, it's an energy field. It won't allow you to teleport shit. First, sorry about the swearing. Second of all, you have to train to use it. And this is a problem with Disney. People is born with it. They're kids and they're using the Force in manners that are way too advanced. Okay? Second of all, dark and light is just names the people use, but the force, light means balance and dark means unbalance, right? Because the dark side, what does is corrupt the force, bend it to the will, and it's basically broken it. That's why no gray Jedi, and that's why there is no two point of view, right? The whole point of the Jedi is if they can listen to the force. They didn't that all the time, and that's why they failed. But in this period of time, in the hype of the Jedi, they are listening to the force. They understand and they know what the force wants. They do what the force wills it. And the force always wills balance. And this is why there's this misconception so deep. And they said, like, yeah, we just try to give you a point of view. I'm going to give you witches that can use the force too, because this world doesn't accept people like us. And this is when you know the showrunner is gay and she is married to a gay woman too, and she just has to put it in there and make a whole Star Wars shows about this. And when people say stuff like, well, what you're complaining, Star Wars is for kids. Yeah, this is for kids. Just asking, all right? That's what it make it awful. That's what it make it dumb, right? That's what people are raging about on the internet. If you still don't get it, it's not just fans. People that understand more or less the movies don't like first messaging in the movie or in the shows or in the Star Wars stuff. They don't like that they're changing it, and they don't like the viewpoints they're doing it, because you can hear the interviews and they were saying stuff like, well, who is good and evil? There's no good and evil. No, of course there is. Of course there is. And you're always in the side of the good guys. And it's no point of view. Like this argument like, oh, Luke Skywalker killed a bunch of people in the Death Star. So from the point of view that, no, the Death Star was a massive destruction weapon. They already blew a planet. Not a station, a planet. They blew up Alderaan, and before that, in Rogue One, they blow up a city. Right? These people are using this weapon willy-nilly, destroying planets. Right? So, not comparison. Okay. So let's keep it with the Force. The Force. So you don't supposed to have these innate abilities. The Chosen One, Anakin Skywalker, didn't have these innate abilities, and he's supposed to be the best prodigy ever. They already give you this rule to follow, so giving it to somebody else, and I know it happens before, it happened in Visions, that's supposed to be not canon, and Ahsoka did it really young too, but this is Filoni stuff, and he's also making it weird, and don't get me wrong, he's also have a hand in this, right? So yeah, the Filoniverse is kind of messed up. They're changing a lot because they don't have the capacity to follow rules, because they don't like rules, and that's why they make it awful. That's why it's so awful, right? And it's awful, yes, because then you have to believe, oh, these witches are manipulating the Force to impregnate themselves. Everybody, I'm not even gonna get into that because, yeah. Yeah, so two women get impregnated. That's not even an issue. The stuff is, that's not how the Force works. It is not, right? It's not even canon. People try to tell me that, yeah, there is a comic that says that Sidious actually impregnates Shmi, and that's why Anakin is like that. Yeah, but that's not canon either. It wasn't canon when it came out, and it's not canon now, right? Supposedly, Anakin was wielded by the Force, and this is a good line. If you never play KOTOR, Knights of the Old Republic, there is a line that Jolie Bimbo says that the Force, the chosen one by the Force, is not the more powerful. You just feel the Force around them, and he gives this example. I'm paraphrasing that is this Jedi that was so into the Force, the Force chosen, and everybody believed he was having a great destiny, and at the end he blew up in a ship or something, and everybody was what? But that ship that he blew up actually have a lot of ramification, and that's why the Force revolves around him too much. The same with Anakin. Anakin was the chosen one. He have a lot of skills. He wasn't the most powerful. He just have a destiny. All right, and the Force is trying to fulfill this destiny with him, no matter how he's doing it. When he go to the dark side, right, he start corrupting the Force, and that's why he cannot fulfill his destiny until he becomes a Jedi again, and he repent, try, and he's good again. Is when he actually fulfill the prophecy. This is it's a lot to actually get, but it's not too hard to understand. So yeah, young Jedis using the Force, Jedis, I don't care if it's female or male, impregnating other Jedis is not how it works, right? Because one of the stuff is that you can measure the Force. You cannot actually put Force in people, even with the midichlorians. There's not, you can just get a transfusion of midichlorian and then you are a Force user. It's not like that, right? You have to be innate you, and then train and train and train and train until you master it, right? It is left to imply that the Jedis blew up this temple, and this is another nitpick. These witches said that they flee to this planet, this remote planet that is outside of the Republic, and that they're hiding. And it has this huge, amazing temple in a mountain. Who built this? These witches? These 40 witches built this huge ass temple in between two mountains? You see what I'm saying? It's not consistent, right? Well, you do not impregnate people with the Force. It's a fantasy. It's fan fiction. It's not even fan fiction, because I don't believe these people like Star Wars, right? They just writing a show with ideas that they're good for any other show. If you're making an Acolyte show and it has nothing to do with Star Wars, and you take away the Jedi's lightsabers and change everybody's names, they're not Jedi's anymore, they're like whatever, the monks, and the witches are the witches, and it works, all right? But not in Star Wars, because we already have rules and canon and ideas how this is supposed to work, and when you're breaking it, you're just annoying people. I don't know how much to say this, but yeah, this episode is not bad because you're watching it and you don't feel like that, but the stuff they say and they're implying, you feel like, oh yeah, your offenses to Star Wars this way, you're changing this, you're making this, and it's every single person that knows Star Wars is gonna feel like, yeah, this is not Star Wars, and this is why this show is failing and no one is watching it, right? And you can see most of the people that are watching it, they hate watching it. There is a few percent, that's why they don't release the numbers, but you can feel more or less no one cares about this. But yeah, let me think a little bit. I have another nitpick, yeah, about that they're implying stuff. They're not straightforward telling you, they're just implying it, but implying it like they're laying it really thick, and it's kinda they get into a fight with the Jedis, and the Jedis are gonna end up being the bad ones. You will see. And yeah, the main character was left behind for this reason. This is gonna happen in episode 4, so I already know. I will give you these reviews till the end now. And there is another stuff I wanted to complain about, and it's nothing to do with the show. It's Disney Plus. Disney Plus had ads now, and I have that Disney Plus with ads because it's the cheaper one, and I was not willing to pay that much. But I want to show you this. Okay, you see every single this break in this blue line, they're ads. They give you like 5 or 4 or 6 interruption for episode, and these are like 25-30 minute episodes. That is too much, as usually Disney making it worse. And this is not the first, like, oh yeah, you're not used to ads. I used to watch TV. I know how ads work. And I also have Netflix with ads, and they put it at the beginning, sometimes at the end, sometimes at the middle. That's it. I have Prime with ads, and you got in the beginning, and that's it. Sometimes in the middle. It depends. If it's a long ass movie, they will put ads in the middle. Right? I have Pickup, and they also put ads at the beginning, at the middle, at the end. Right? Why Disney have to do it so much? Because they're losing money, because no one is watching this. Alright? And I'm doing this review just for you. You know who you are. Yeah. I hope you guys enjoy it. And if you don't, it's because the show is bad. But yeah, go watch anything else on TV. I would recommend it. The Star Wars, yeah, it's not good. Star Wars is dead. That's a lot of people saying it, and I believe it. I was fighting against this for a long time because I want to have good Star Wars. I want to enjoy it. But recently, I went to see for the 10,000th time Lord of the Rings in the theaters. And that's amazing. I was crying again. And compared to the whole of Disney Star Wars, I will go and watch Lord of the Rings again, because that is awesome and this is not. Alright, so if you wanna see more, check out here or here to see more. And this was Elemental Idea. My name is Arlo. Bye.